Hey strangers, I'm just gonna do a little introduction to a video that I'm about to show you. I mentioned it in my last Q&A video, but basically I've been receiving a lot of requests to show videos of, what I looked like and what my voice sounded like before I was on testosterone. And when I was going through those videos and looking at those vlogs that I made, I came across this video that I shot almost exactly 2 years ago. Like it was February, it was like first or second week of February in 2014. And it was just supposed to be a basic, like recording the progress of my transition video, but I shot this particular vlog around the time that I was coming to terms with the fact that I was non-binary and the fact that I wasn't really going to be comfortable continuing living my life as, like a binary guy, which I was attempting to do for about a year. And I still was struggling with a lot of internalized transphobia and a lot of internalized sexism and feelings that I wasn't trans enough, or the only way for me to be trans would be for me to live as a guy or be comfortable identifying as 100% male. And so I was dealing with a lot of, really difficult feelings at that time, and a lot of, internal struggle to do with my identity and coming to terms with things, and personal issues that I had. I'm just being kind of redundant at this point, but I just felt that in the interest of radical vulnerability, that it might be useful for some reason to share this video, because I know that a lot of people see me now as being a very confident and out non-binary person, and I kind of just wanted to shed some light on issues that I've had coming to terms with my own identity, and I think that this video does a good job at doing that. I warn you, I look super disgusting in this video. This was also a week before I had my clavicle reconstructed, and I was in a lot of pain. I'm pretty sure I was sick, and I had a weird cut on my lip, and it was just really disgusting. So, if you're ready to see the worst of me, then continue watching this video, but if not, then just click away. But without further ado, I will leave you to watch that. Hey, I'm recording this video for my, I think, 4.5 months on testosterone. I took a break for a while from doing the transition videos for about a month and a half, just because I just haven't really had the energy or the time, just because of everything that's going on with my shoulder and my pain levels and stuff like that. I'm actually scheduled for bone surgery in less than a week, so that's real exciting. Yeah, so I've been experiencing what is officially now chronic pain in my back and shoulder, and so that's kind of put a damper on my ability to do anything at all, and my will to do anything at all. But moving aside from that, transition video. I'm officially now identifying as an androgyne, which is androgynous kind of thing. Because I feel like that label suits me better. I'm still on testosterone, I'm still physically transitioning. Gender's confusing. I feel like a lot of my problem is just not being able to really identify with other people, and once I started identifying as 100% male, I found that I wasn't really able to relate to like heterosexual cis men um as much. I've always had I've always been able to relate to men and women kind of like equally in different ways, but like um I've definitely been able to relate to men a lot more since I've been on testosterone because of like it kind of like not only does it change your body, but it kind of changes like your emotions and like the way you react to things kind of thing. Um I've been much more aggressive since I've been on testosterone. I mean, I've always been aggressive my whole life, but I've been more aggressive since I've been on testosterone. I've been more horny a lot. Um, but I can't, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm queer, like on top of the trans thing that makes it, and I'm an artist, that makes it hard to relate to like the typical manly man, um, as far as like lived experience. But, that and I don't really have a very masculine role within my friend group or anything like that. I'm kind of just like cute, I guess. And like I don't know if I'm kind of like losing faith that I'll ever be anything but that. Um I I just like I watch a lot of like FTM videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and with a lot of the guys, I feel like they had a better starting place than I did, like as far as like what their bodies look like. I mean like a lot of them were like taller than me and had like a square jaw and just like when you looked at them even before they started taking testosterone, you knew that they were going to transition well. But I don't know. I'm just I'm just worried that I'm always gonna look like a little kid my whole life, I guess. So yeah, gender's complicated. 'Cause I feel like as far as lived experience, I relate to girls more in that I was forced into a lot of the same things that they were forced into. Um, Looking back on my childhood, I don't say I enjoyed it. I don't say I enjoyed any of the like feminine presentation or makeup stuff or socialization that um I felt was the only option for me. And my mom was really my mom's a very very feminine woman, and um a lot of the time I feel like I didn't really have a choice other than between two different shades of pink or two different shades of purple. And um I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm just I mean like I relate to trans guys in the feeling that like there's always been something wrong with you, or like you like looked at yourself in the mirror and didn't really feel connected with the person that you saw and you didn't really know why. Um I relate to that pretty heavily. But although, like, after coming out, like, I can say that generally, I'm a lot bad. I'm a lot happier. Like, I feel a lot better about myself and my life and stuff like that. Um, but like, I feel like that feeling hasn't completely gone away yet. Um, and um, I don't know if it will. Like, if I continue on testosterone longer and, like, get more muscle mass and stuff like that. Um, but I'm almost worried that like a lot of the stuff that I'm dysphoric about is not changeable. Like I'm dysphoric about being really small. Like I'm actually a really small person. I'm 5'3" and I weigh about 117 pounds. Um, and I'm really dysphoric about that, and I don't really think that there's anything I can do about it. Um, and I feel like that really like affects the way that people treat me, and like they don't think like people don't think that I'm strong. Um, People don't think that I like can take care of myself or do things for myself a lot of the time, and like other guys like offer me assistance with things, and that pisses me off like more than anything. Um, but at the same time, it's kind of like a dual frustration because right now, physically, I'm not strong, and I actually physically can't take care of myself because of my shoulder being fucked. So, like, it's really frustrating because I feel this need to, like, sort of like prove myself to people. But I don't, like, I'm actually just not capable of doing that right now. I mean, like, I had to sublet my apartment because I couldn't do the dishes. Like, it's really bad what's going on with my shoulder, and it's going to be several months until it gets better, assuming that surgery goes well. Um, and then physiotherapy and everything like that. Um, but, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I just feel extremely dysphoric about my body, and I just don't know what to do about some of it. And in some ways, like, um, although I felt like a vague, like, disconnect, um, I mean, like, an acute, but I mean vague as in not being able to identify it. But I felt disconnect before, but now that I've sort of pinpointed what makes me uncomfortable about myself, it's almost like I almost don't know if I feel worse. 'Cause now, like, I'm so dysphoric and now I have a word for it, and I don't know. And part of me doesn't know if I'm male or if I'm androgynous, and part of me thinks that I'm just different from everyone, and that um I'm never gonna like find a gender identity that is like that I can like completely 100% be like, yes, this is who I am, because like I know I'm not a girl. I don't feel like I know I'm not a girl, but it's the problem is that that's the only thing I know. Like, I don't know if I am, like, actually binary male and just my personality and my, um, likes and dislikes are so eccentric that it's really difficult for me to relate to, like, other men outside of, like, art school environments. And I didn't know getting into it what life would be like once I actually started being not all the time, but like treated like a man. Um, and it's like I feel like there's even stricter expectations as far as gender related behavior that than there were when I was female. And I mean like I know I'm like not saying that from the perspective of a woman, so I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything like that. But I just mean like there's like this hyper masculine standard in like the Western world. I don't know if that applies to like other places because I've heard that it doesn't in like Europe and stuff. But I feel like there's like this hyper masculine standard of behavior that I am not, have never been, and probably never will be okay with. It's just not who I am, and I um started living as male and then started testosterone and transitioning and stuff like that because I was doing what was right for me for who I am, and I don't want to have to change who I am to justify what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Um, like I know how I feel about my body. Um, but it seems like um now that I'm out to my entire family as being a trans guy, um, there's this like, oh, well, you're a man now, so start acting like one kind of thing. And I'm not prepared to do that because, I mean, like, I'm not prepared to do that by the meaningless bullshit standards that it apparently applies to. Um, because, like, I felt so disconnected from myself and other people for so long that I'm not prepared to make any uncomfortable changes to my personality or my behavior unless they're for the better, which I don't feel that it would be. Um, I mean, like, I'm sensitive, I'm artistic, I'm thoughtful and empathetic, and, um, I don't feel like those are negative qualities. They're actually, like, things that I pride myself on. My ability to empathize with people, um, the fact that I am generally kind to people, um, and the fact that I'm sensitive, is like maybe something I should be working on, but I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the other things. Um, and I don't feel like those are bad things about myself. I feel like those are things that have been with me my whole life and they make me who I am, and they've served me well. Um, for like friendships and relationships and stuff like that. Like I feel like I for the most part do right by people. Um, or try to. I don't really know where this video is going. It's basically like I identify as androgynous right now, but I don't know if that's just because Western standards for men are really horrible and ultimately unattainable. And I like having purple hair. I do. And I'm fucking sick and tired of people telling me that I have to dye it now that I identify as male. And that I have to change my clothes now that I identify as male. I mean, uh, I have, like, a 100% male wardrobe, except for, like, 2 pairs of pants. And I don't want anyone to tell me that I can't wear my fucking crust pants because they make me look like a girl. Like, fuck off.
Um, so body update.